Hello and welcome to part 1 of 2 of my PvE survival guide. In this video I'm going to cover your main abilities, your talents and glyphs, your stat priority and your opener and rotation. Main abilities. First off we have explosive shot. It costs 25 focus and it's on a 6-second cooldown. This is your main ability and should always be kept on cooldown. Next we have Serpent Sting, which costs 15 focus. It's a dot and it causes 167,945 nature damage over 15 seconds. Next we have Black Arrow, costs 35 focus, is on usually like a 26-second cooldown. Fires a black arrow at the target, dealing 193,920 damage over 20 seconds. Black Arrow also has a 20% chance to trigger Lock and Load when it deals damage. Lock and Load causes your next 2 explosive shots to cause no focus and trigger no cooldowns. This effect lasts for 12 seconds and cannot occur more than once every 10 seconds. But after you've used your 2 charges, then it will just go back on to normal explosive shot cooldown. Next we have Cobra Shot, which is our main source of regenerating our focus. It deals 77% weapon damage in the form of nature damage and increases the duration of your Serpent Sting on the target, which is our main dot, and generates 14 focus. And it's usable while moving now, which is amazing. And lastly we have Arcane Shot. An instant shot that causes 125% weapon damage plus 3,272 as arcane damage and applies the Hunter's Mark effect. This costs 30 focus. For execution we have Kill Shot. It's on a 10-second cooldown, but it has 2 charges before it goes on cooldown if you don't kill your target. So anytime during raids, if you're using it on a boss, then you're pretty much going to get 2 charges before it goes on a 10-second cooldown. Okay, now I'm going to speak about your talents and glyphs. If you watched my previous guide, you'll know that talents and glyphs don't actually change like that much between the 2 specs. I'm just going to give you what I use, and then I will show you some alternatives for different fights, like always. First here, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera, nice survivability increase, reducing the cooldown of disengage and deterrence by a lot. Next are stuns and CC. I use Binding Shot and AoE stun, really good for fights like Galacrus, for keeping the bone crushers in place when they go to do their fractures on the NPCs. Next, Spirit Bond or Aspect of the Iron Hawk. Fight dependent, or if there's a constant damage where your healers have to focus on other things, then definitely Aspect of the Iron Hawk. But if there's like Spirit Bond for, I don't know, if you're maybe soloing the belt on Siegecrafter and you're quite far away from your healers, then Spirit Bond is nice. Next, Thrill of the Hunt, definitely Thrill of the Hunt for survival. When you have your 2-set bonus, every arcane shot or multi-shot you use reduces the cooldown of your rapid fire by 8 seconds. And what Thrill of the Hunt does is you have a 30% chance when you fire a ranged attack that costs focus to reduce the focus cost of your next 3 arcane shots or multi-shots by 20. This means arcane shot costs 10 focus and multi-shot costs 20. You get like 3 charges of it, and it's got a duration. I think it's something like 15 seconds the effect lasts. So what you should realistically try and do is use all 3 of the charges before the duration of the buff runs out, because you want to try and keep rapid fire on quite a low cooldown. I think at the moment for me it's around about 30-second effective cooldown, due to the fact I have a Heroic Warforged Assurance and the 2-set bonus combined with Thrill of the Hunt. It just reduces it like dramatically. You could also take Fervor as well. Instantly restores 50 focus to you and your pet, and an additional focus over 10 seconds, and it's on a 30-second cooldown. You could use it for like the burst, because Murder of Crows takes a lot of focus, and it's nice to just instantly regen all of the focus, but it's not as good as Thrill of the Hunt, especially with the set bonuses. And Dire Beast is pretty useless for survival, as it doesn't scale with your mastery like it does in BM. Next here we have Murder of Crows. It's on the 2-minute cooldown, it costs 60 focus, and it's a huge single target damage ability. It lasts for 30 seconds. If it's used on a target under 20% health, the cooldown is reduced to only 1 minute, which is really nice. But you should always aim on keeping this on cooldown. But because it's such a huge amount of focus, you're going to want to preemptively use Cobra shots and like work out in your head, is explosive shot going to be off cooldown, is black arrow going to be off cooldown, and then you'll have to do the math in your head. You know, explosive shot costs 25 focus, black arrow costs 35 focus, so if you're capped at 100 focus at the time Murder of Crows comes off and you have black arrow off of cooldown, then you're going to be using 95 focus out of the 100 focus you should have, and then it's one Cobra shot away from using explosive shot on the next GCD. A lot of focus management is you having to do maths in your head whilst the fight is going on. You have to survive, do damage, and work everything out. Like, it takes a while, but once you get used to it, once you get used to the focus regeneration and what abilities cost, then the class actually becomes really, really easy to get to a higher level. You could also use blink strikes, I guess, if there's I don't know, blink strikes is pretty bad compared to Murder of Crows. I know Murder of Crows does a lot more damage, but blink strikes, I guess, like if you're not very comfortable with your focus regeneration, or I don't know, maybe at lower gear levels, blink strikes probably pulls ahead a little bit. But yeah, no, it's down to you. Like, if you're just starting out on the class, definitely just go blink strikes. Don't bother with Murder of Crows until you get to a point where you're comfortable. And then lastly we have Glaive Toss, which is an awesome ability. I've always used it. I switch between Glaive Toss and Barrage like on a couple of fights. I tried it on Fallen Protectors this week and it worked out really well for me. I got a 40k damage increase for my personal best. So that was really nice. Galacrass, I use it quite a lot. Spoils, I'm going to start using it, but it really depends, especially with spoils, on how your guild approaches it, or how I doubt like you can do much in LFR to change tactics, but yeah, it's all about how you approach the fight. If you're going to pull loads and loads of mobs on spoils, then definitely Barrage pulls way, way, way ahead. Same with Fallen Protectors. If you're going to transition all three of the Desperate Measures phases at the same time, which is what a lot of guilds are doing now, then you're definitely going to go with Barrage as well, because the AoE damage on, like, say Fallen Protectors on Sun's ads and Rook's ads at the same time, they all share HP pools, so the more damage you do to all of them, the quicker they're going to go down. Let's go to Glyphs. Nothing has changed from Beast Mastery, literally nothing, so I'm not even going to waste too much time. Use Animal Bond, Disengage, Deterrence, and then minor Glyphs, use whatever you want really. You can switch between this one, Disengage here, for Liberation sometimes if your healers are a bit meh, because it gives you a 5% HP heal. It gives you a 5% heal, sorry, and it works really well with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Chimera. Like at the moment, I've got a 6.49 second CD on the Disengage, and if I use the Liberation Glyph, then I'd get a 5% heal every 6.5 seconds if I used it on CD, which you shouldn't really be doing, but you know, utility. Love it. Okay, and now for your stat priority. for survival hunters in patch 5.4.8, which is the current, you should always be reforging to crit, haste, and then mastery after you get your 7.5 hit and expertise caps. I've tried a few different builds with survival. I tried haste crit mastery, it doesn't really work too well. I've tried crit mastery haste, it doesn't work too well either, so I'm pretty sure that crit haste mastery is by far the highest simmed right now. I know for a fact it is actually, I don't. But yeah, the crit works really well with your explosive shots. Explosive shot hits like a truck when you have trinket procs up. Like you can get ticks of 450k, and these are ticks, and there are 3 of them, so it hits really, really hard. But yeah, haste doesn't really have too much effect on us anymore. It used to be in TOT you'd stack haste for the increased trinket procs, but they changed that, which is why the build changed after TOT Siege of Wargammer was released. Sorry. But yeah, stat priority wise, there isn't really too much to speak about. Mastery is really bad for us. It just increases your magical damage by 13%, and I think our only magic damage ability is Black Arrow, so doesn't really do too much. Alright, and now for your opener and rotation. If you've watched my Beast Mastery guide, then you already know about preemptive glaive tossing or precasting glaive toss on the pull timers. That's exactly what you want to do here as well. I'm going to leave a macro in the description for the one I use, which is Glaive Toss, Synapse Springs and Rapid Fire all at the same time. Right, we're going to do this in a pull timer sort of way. So on the 10 seconds of your pulse timer, make sure you have your hunter's mark up. It's always the most important thing on the pull, hunter's mark. Getting down to about 5 seconds now, and you're going to want to start getting your pre-pot ready. You're going to pre-pot, and then you're going to want to cast Glaive Toss, Synapse Springs, Rapid Fire, all on about 1 second left of the pull timer. If you have the macro that I linked, then all of those will just go off at the same time when you press the same button. Press the Glaive Toss button, sorry. Then, after that, on the next GCD, you're going to want to use Stampede. And then you're going to want to use Explosive Shot to keep that our main ability on cooldown. Then you're going to want to use Serpent Sting, and by now you should have some trinket procs, so you should use Black Arrow after you've used your Serpent Sting. Black Arrow is actually a snapshot dot, which is what some people don't understand, so that's why it's good to use it like that late in the opener rotation. You prioritize Explosive Shot and Serpent Sting straight away rather than Black Arrow straight away, because you want, this is quite a powerful dot, and mixed with your trinket procs it becomes even stronger, so that's why you use it that late. And then you use 1 Cobra shot and then Murder of Crows. And then after that, it's pretty much just basic rotation. You should have your Explosive Shot just coming off of cooldown after you use Murder of Crows. So make sure you use that pretty quickly, because your Black Arrow is going to trigger lock and load around the same time. Most of the time, like 85% of the time, I'd say. Lock and load comes off at around the same time that Explosive Shot is coming off of cooldown. So you want to make sure you use your normal Explosive Shot before you get your lock and load procs, because it's a huge damage loss if you don't, if you waste a cooldown of Explosive Shot with a lock and load proc, because you're only going to get 3 off rather than 4. Now that I've talked you through your opener, I'm actually going to show you, and I'm going to slow the video down, and I promise I will slow the video down this time. I can't do a pull timer, but you know, I'll do a manual one. Yeah. Right. So pull in 5, 4, 3, 2, pre-pot. is, you can see, look, right there, the lock and load propped it early, so I got it before my explosive shot came off of cooldown, which is really annoying. It's a huge damage loss for your burst, and survival don't let, and the same happened exactly right there. Survival doesn't have a huge amount of burst. Like you can hit 1 million like quite easily with good timed procs. But compared to Beast Mastery and some other classes, like, it's nothing. But you definitely make up for it in your sustained damage. If you do your rotation right, then your sustained damage is just as high as any other classes. After you've finished your opener, like say after 20 seconds or so, you'd start getting into your normal rotation. For survival hunters, it isn't really like too much of a rotation. We just have a huge priority system. Number one priority is to always keep explosive shot on cooldown. Number two is black arrow is always on cooldown, as much uptime as you can. Number three is Serpent Sting uptime. You need to keep Serpent Sting up using Cobra shot. And then after that, it's really just like Murder of Crows on cooldown, Glaive Toss on cooldown, Rapid Fire and Stampede, Synapse Springs on cooldown, Arcane Shot when you have too much focus and you don't have explosive shot off CD. But the main thing you need to remember about survival hunter DPS is it's all about preemptive thinking. You need to work out in your head as the fight is going on what sort of focus you're going to have at what sort of times, and you need to say, oh look, my Murder of Crows is coming off cooldown in 10 seconds, oh but so is my Black Arrow, and my explosive shot is coming off in 4 seconds. So you're going to want to build the focus, like you're going to want to use your explosive shot when it comes off of cooldown in 4 seconds, and then it's going to be on cooldown for another 6 after you use it, so it's going to come off 1 second later than your Black Arrow and your Murder of Crows are. So this is going to be a really focus heavy time, so you're going to want to be as close to 100 focus as you possibly can. Bear in mind, you do have passive focus regeneration, so you don't always need to be like, oh, I have 44 focus right now, and my Cobra shot only generates 14, so I don't have enough for Murder of Crows after 1. You will, because you generate, I think I'm generating like 5 focus. Yeah, 5 focus per second. So make sure you keep that number in your head. You need to know, or you need to be able to feel how much focus you're passively regenerating. Survival is just getting the feel of your focus regen, and you'll be absolutely fine. It's really easy to get high numbers as survival. I'm just going to really quickly and briefly talk you over your AoE as survival. As most of you know, if you play hunters, that every spec has multi-shot, but the shot itself doesn't actually do much damage. It's just the effect that causes that does a lot of damage. And for survival, your multi-shot, whatever target it hits, affects it with Serpent Sting. This is called Serpent Spread in your spellbook if you want to look it up. Targets hit by your multi-shot are also affected by your Serpent Sting. Pretty basic, but it also hits improved Serpent Sting as well. Increases the damage of your Serpent Sting by 50%. That's not really that like important, but it also causes instant damage equal to 15% of the periodic effect. This is where a lot of the damage actually comes from. The dot itself does overall more damage, but there are times, which I'm going to explain in a different guide because it takes a long time to explain. There are times when Thrill of the Hunt, Trinket procs and multi-shot are huge, like ridiculous damage increases. I'm talking like almost 1 million bursts just from 3 target AoE. It's really, really good. So I'll give you like I'll just attack the dummies. Look, you can see all of them are now affected with Serpent Sting. I got my Trinket procs up. ticking for quite hard. Look, 125Ks, 120Ks. Yeah, so they do hit pretty hard. But as I said, I'll explain it a little better in another guide, because there's quite a lot you need to know about it if you want to maximize your DPS. But that's literally it. That's our AoE rotation. You just multi-shot, get it on all targets, and then you continue with your single target rotation. Pretty basic. If you should definitely get some unit frames that show dots in like the little areas above it. As you can see, that one's running out, so you just multi-shot again, and then that's it. Your AoE is done again for another 10 seconds. So you apply your dots with multi-shot, and then you do your single target rotation until the dots are about to run off again, and repeat. Pretty simple, but there are ways you can make it much more effective. There's not really too much else I can speak about in this video. I'm going to do another one for like fight specific things that you'll want to do to increase your DPS, but it's going to be quite a long video, and I'm probably going to break it down into just a fight by fight thing. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, comment, to say what you want to see. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed it, so I'll see you guys later.